Hello world, this is part 2 of my Python from 0 to 1 series, and today let's talk about the absolute basics of Python. So I'm going to assume that you have already set up Python on your computer, but if you have not, do feel free to check out this video over here. So the most basic thing we can do in Python is to print stuff, and to do that we use the print function. So let's see how we can do this. So in my Python script, I simply type print followed by open and close bracket. So whatever I want to print will go between this open and close bracket. So let's say I want to print 5. So if I run this, I will get 5. Let's print a bunch of other stuff, 3.14. So once again, if I run this, I will get 5 and 3.14. So whatever that we pass in between this open and close bracket will simply be printed. So let's write a few more print statements. So here, we have written more print statements here, printing a bunch of other stuff. And if we run this, we will simply print them all. So 5, 3.14, hello world, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, true and false. So you might notice that the stuff that we are printing looks slightly different. And this is because they are from different data types. So there are many data types in Python, but for now, let's focus only on the 4 most basic ones. And they are integer, float, string, another string, and this is boolean, and this is also boolean. So an integer is simply a whole number, and a float is simply a decimal number. So a string is a word or a sentence, and we usually put it in between open and close quotes. So this is another string. So even though this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we put it in between open and close quotes, this is actually a string. Next, let's talk about booleans. So booleans, or bool for short, is either a true or a false. So for now, let's just go with these 4 basic data types here. So next, similar to algebra, we can actually assign a value to a variable. So let's just do this. A is equals to 4. So here, A is the variable, and 4 is the value, which happens to be an integer. So here, using the equal sign, I'm assigning the variable A to a value of 4. And after this, if I choose to print A, I will print the value of A, which is 4. So similarly, let's say B is equals to 5. I'm assigning the variable B to a value of 5. And if I print B, I'm going to get 4 and 5. So let's write a few more variables. So C is equals to 3.14 and D is equals to apple. So if I want to print all of them, I simply need to add a comma here and a comma here. So once again, if I run this, I will get 4, 5, 3.14 and apple. So notice that in my print statement, I actually add a comma here. And in my output, whatever is separated by comma will actually be separated by a space. And next, let's talk about valid variable names. So previously, I've used A, B, C, and D. However, there are some rules to variable naming in Python. So let's write the rules here. So firstly, a variable name can only contain letters, numbers, or the underscore character. Secondly, can only start with either letters or the underscore character, which means that we cannot start a variable name with a number. And thirdly, a variable name cannot be a reserved Python keyword. So to know which words are Python keywords, we can actually do a quick Google. Python keywords. And W3 Schools will work. And these are all our Python keywords. Alternatively, you can use your IDE to help you. So let's say I have x is equals to 5, y is equals to 6, and n is equals to 7. So in my last line here, I'm trying to use a and d as a Python variable. However, do note that there is this red squiggly line underneath, which signifies that what I'm doing is wrong and Python will not allow it. So your IDE, be it VS Code or some other IDE, will usually help you in detecting whether you are accidentally using a Python keyword as a variable. And lastly, Python keywords are case sensitive, which means that apple is not equals to apple with a capital A. So Python will see these two variables as two completely separate variables. And next, let's move on to comments in Python. So you might have noticed that I'm writing stuff like this at the top of my script and stuff like this in the middle of my script. So these are known as comments in Python. Comments are usually ignored by Python itself, and we usually use it to label or explain other stuff. So here, this line is a comment because of the hashtag in front, and this entire chunk here is a comment because of the triple quotes at the start and at the end. So when Python runs this script, it will ignore all our comments and it will start here. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this was clear and easy to understand. See you in the next one.